just a point to both teams. In as much as points of information are allowed, we urge you not to badger the speaker with too much POIs. So you asking a POI and then another 15 seconds, another request for a POI. Just give the speakers a little room to breathe, all right? Cool.
Testing. Hold, testing. Sorry, yes, please. Yes, I think so. Moderator, esteemed judges, opponents, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon to you all. My opponent, why are you training to be a teacher if you're not needed? By your logic, students can explore and discover on their own. Today, we firmly oppose the moot. This House believes that unstructured exploratory learning better prepares students for the future than traditional methods. Unfortunately, my opponents, the burden of proof rests with you, the proposition. Therefore, honorable judges, we call on you to note the startling gaps in their stance. From their first speaker's presentation, they have failed miserably to set a reasonable comparison for which method is better in preparing our students for the future. First speaker proposition, in your haste to support unstructured exploratory learning, you ignore different sides to the argument. Your unfairly sanitized, neatly packaged, and presented a glossy picture of unstructured exploratory learning. Therefore, your arguments lack credibility. As first speaker, I will clarify misconceptions. My second speaker will build on these comparisons, and my third speaker will summarize our stance. The word better is used in the moot, not as an adjective, but rather as an adverb. And as defined by the Cambridge English Dictionary, it means in a more suitable, pleasing, satisfactory way, or to a greater degree. The same dictionary defines prepare as to make or get something or someone ready for something that will happen in the future. Future is defined by the same source as a time to come. Definition of both approaches are online, but with inaccuracies and misconceptions of traditional methods as unengaging, outdated, only using chalk and talk, rote memorization, lacking adaptability, stifling creativity, and unable to facilitate skills needed in the future. But in Jamaican vernacular, we are here to mash down those lies. We cannot accept the proposition definition because their arguments are these misconceptions. We say a resounding no to their definition of unstructured exploratory learning and traditional methods. Indeed, leading educational reformist John Holtz assert, and I quote, "It is wrong to imply that structure is always coercive and lack of structure is always liberating." After all, the exploration and learners controlling what they learn, when they learn it, and how they learn it, we will still require some amount of structure to gauge learners' development, unquote. His terms on structured exploratory learning cannot exist as a long-term solution. Therefore, it cannot be deemed better than traditional methods. Rather than random online sources, we use authoritative and scholarly educational definitions. Thus, London School of Emerging Technology, one of the leading institutions experimenting with structured and unstructured protocol, acknowledge a fundamental flaw of unstructured learning. In a blog dated September 29, 2025, for them, and I quote, "Unstructured exploratory learning, also referred to unstructured learning, is a learning experience that is not planned, does not have organized progression," unquote. On the other hand, traditional methods, also known as structured pedagogy or structured learning, is, and I quote, "specifically designed, coherent package of investments that work together to improve classroom teaching," unquote. Piper et al., 2021. These scholars list hundreds of traditional methods, too many to mention, but here notably explicit instruction, scaffolding, and so on. Therefore, my opponents, there is scope for creativity within the classroom. Honorable judges, to determine whether or not unstructured exploratory learning is better than traditional methods, the moot requires us to compare them in terms of one criterion, that is, preparing the students for the future, a time to come. We perceive this future to be technologically advanced, credentially driven, globalized, and competitive. So our students will compete internationally and will